Welcome to the Get Sellers Calling You podcast for Christian real estate agents, where we help you grow your business with great marketing tips and grow your faith with powerful, radical faith Bible teaching. I'm Beatty Carmichael, and I'm glad you joined us. Today, we're going to be talking about growing your business with some great marketing tips. So, let's get started.
Well, hey there, this is Beatty Carmichael with Agent Dominator, and I've got a short but very powerful update for you on how to get more listings. If you're out there and you're struggling with listings, this industry has been slowing down, and most agents have left, and those that are remaining, everyone's fighting for the few listings that are out there in general markets. Then I want to share something that's going to be a really great breath of fresh air. There are two types of homeowners out there who aren't thinking about selling, but they need to sell. And that means there's a real opportunity for you. And I'm talking about the homeowners who received a notice of default and families going through probate after a loved one has died. And these are listings that often go completely ignored by other agents, even though they can be some of the most consistent and motivated sellers in any market. And here at Agent Dominator, we've developed some powerful tools like our video Infused Postcards that help you tap into both of these niches in a way that builds trust and drives results. I'll share more about that at the end. But first, let's walk through how these two listing sources work and why they're so valuable. And we'll start with notices of default. So what a notice of default is, it's really simple. When a homeowner falls behind on their mortgage, usually about 3 months behind, then the lender will file what's called a notice of default with the county. And that document basically says, hey, you're in default. If you don't fix this soon, we're going to move forward with foreclosure and you're going to lose the house. Now that filing becomes part of the public record. So now anyone, including you, can find out which homeowners are in trouble, and that's where your opportunity comes in. When a homeowner gets that notice, it's a pretty serious moment in their lives. It means the clock is ticking. Their credit is dropping. They're overwhelmed. The house they're living in is now on a timeline to be taken away. But what most homeowners don't realize, they still have options. And this is where you as the agent can step in and help. After the notice of default is filed, the homeowner enters what's called a cure period. That's usually between 30 and 90 days, depending on the state. And during that time, they can either reinstate the loan by catching up on what they owe, like all the payments, all the late fees, attorney costs, and everything else. Or they can try to sell the home. If they do nothing, then the lender moves to the next stage, which is filing a notice of sale and setting up a date to auction the home off and getting rid of it. In some places, that can happen within just 3 weeks. And after the sale, they're no longer the legal owner of the house, so now they can be evicted, and that usually happens within as little as 30 days. But in most cases, the best solution is just to sell the home. If they've got equity, they can usually sell it, pay off the loan, maybe walk away with some cash, and help protect their credit from a foreclosure. If they're underwater, a lot of times a lender may actually agree to a short sale, which means you can still sell it, and they just walk away with nothing but no foreclosure on their credit. And here's something that most agents really don't realize. Simply listing the home can pause the foreclosure timeline. What that means is if the lender sees a legitimate sale in process, they'll often delay things. And that gives you time to get it under contract and get it closed, and gives the homeowner a path out of foreclosure. So you're helping them avoid losing everything, and in the same process, you're picking up another listing and hopefully another sale. That's what's really powerful with that. So how do you find these homeowners? It's pretty simple. There are two routes that you can take. One is a do-it-yourself route, and the other is using a paid service. Do-it-yourself means that you go down to the county recorder's office, either online or in person, and search for recent notices of default. Everything is a public record. It just takes a little bit of effort. Some counties are easier to work with than others, but the key is it's free and it does work. Another option, if you have a good relationship with your title company, a lot of times they'll pull the notice of default list for you as a service to the clients that do business with them. And then the second option, which is also probably a very easy, maybe the most likely one, is to use a paid service. And there are two services I know of. One is called PropStream, and another is called Property Radar. And there's also another one I think called Vulcan 7. And I think they all do similar stuff. These are great tools. They usually monitor the county records. They send you leads in almost real time. My understanding is PropStream is nationwide. Property Radar is a little bit faster to get to you, but they may only be in certain states. So just check that out. Make sure that the service is working in your county. But all these services typically do the same thing. They let you filter by equity, loan amount, location, and more. So now you can create a filtered list, get just the records you want, download them as an exportable file, and then you can start to do marketing automation to it. You can start to do postcards like with us or do your own mailings, but it allows you now to just stay on top of it. But the key with all this is you need to act fast on these, okay? There's a timeline, and that timeline is moving fast. So it usually goes to the first person who gets there. So now that's the notice of default. Let's switch over to the other side for a moment, and that's the probate. This is also another huge opportunity that's been hiding in plain sight. Probate is just a legal process that happens when someone dies and their property has to be sorted out through the court. If they own a house and they did not have it in trust, then that house usually has to go through probate before anyone can sell it or transfer it. And most of the time, the heirs don't want to keep the property. They've got their own homes. A lot of times they live out of state or out of town, and they just want to sell it and move on. So that's where you can step in. Now, the person who handles everything is called the executor, or sometimes called the personal representative. This is the person the court authorizes to manage the estate. And here's the thing. They usually have no idea what they're doing. It's often their first time dealing with probate, and they're overwhelmed. They're not just by the legal stuff, but by grief, family stress, uncertainty, and they got a job, and this is one more thing on their plate, and it's just overwhelming. So when you show up and you offer understanding of the process, compassion, and a plan to help them through it, you can become a huge asset to them. Many times they'll hire you as the first agent who actually understands what's going on. So this is the advantage. Once probate is filed and the executor is appointed, they'll usually have the authority to sell the property. Sometimes it'll happen fast, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but the key is to get there early, offer to help, and then be there once they're ready to move. And here's the beauty of it all. Unlike the traditional seller, these are not thinking about it type of sellers. In most cases, they have to sell. So it's a good, motivated sell. And just like with notice of defaults, you've got two ways to find the probate leads. Number one, you can do it yourself. Just go to your local probate court. You can look at the filings. A lot of times you can find the name of the executor, sometimes the property address. It'll take some digging, but you can sort of piece it together. It's all public information. The other thing is you can use a paid service. There are three services I'm aware of. One's called All the Leads. The other one is called Probate Data. And another one's called Successors Data. So just check out those different platforms, but they're all set up to send new probate leads every week. You'll get the names, the mailing addresses, the property details, and more. And also, just like with notice of defaults, you're usually getting that data within a week or so of the court filing. So you're showing up early by getting it and marketing out to them and being the first agent to get there with a valid offer to help, and that's how you get the sale. So here's what it all comes together. At Agent Dominator, we built marketing campaigns specifically to help you target niche markets, whether it's geographic farming, whether it's your past clients and sphere of influence, whether it's waterfront properties, or whether it's notice of defaults or probate, okay? And what makes our postcards really effective is several things. Number one is we've created something we call the video infused postcard. It's not your typical postcard. What we do is we do a short interview type process with you to understand what differentiates you above other agents. And then we create very highly specific customized marketing copy that separates you from other agents. So now, as a message goes out, people start to understand why they should choose you over someone else. We then take that and help create and craft video scripts that you can use. And we guide you in how to record a video. So now you can have recorded video where you're talking about your expertise in that subject matter. And then that video is infused into the postcard using a QR code. So now when someone gets the postcard, they can scan the QR code and watch a personal video of you. Why is this important? Because a number of years back, UCLA did a study on communication effectiveness. They found that the written word, which is your email, your text message, your postcard, is only 7% effective in communicating the full range of communication. But a video, being live in person, they can hear your voice, see your expression, and hear the message, is 100% communication, 15 times higher communication rate. And what that means is that using the video infused postcards is increasing your trust level, the ability to actually win trust by 8 to 10 to 15 times over just a normal marketing piece that most agents send. The second thing that makes our system really unique is what we call Stealth Tracker. Every time someone watches your video or just goes to your website from the postcard, we're able to track it with some unique proprietary technology and tell you in real time who just went there. So now you know who's checking out your information, and you can follow up and be proactive and help get the listing. So if you want to learn more about how our postcards work, visit our website, agentdominator.com, and just click on the link, Video Infused Postcards. Thanks a lot for listening and watching. Be very blessed, and go after the notice of defaults and the probate and start making more money during this crazy real estate period. Be blessed.